Hey, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, depending where you are in the world. The world is such a great place, actually. Uh, there's a filter out there that is telling us it's not a great place. And it enters our mind, our consciousness through our computer, the newspaper, the neighbor, the where you buy your food at the gas tank, wherever you go. Uh, people engage. Some people engage more than others. And I used to work on a merchant ship, and the proverbial water fountain, the drinking fountain, the literal water fountain in the engine room on the ship I worked on, I would go get a drink, and someone would come up, start to tell me the story. So I guess there's a lot of truth to that, but I never really worked in an office as such. To being loaded up with less than positive comments, words, stories, news. And we know today is one of the most challenging times, I got to say, in history. As long as I've been around, a few years, like you, maybe not. And but one thing I know for sure is we can walk above that noise and not get sucked into the hole of negativity. It's very, 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 very challenging today. It's probably the most challenging. Again, I got to talk about my life and my experiences here, because I spent 30 years more studying books, self-help books, and I had so much pain inside, and I didn't have much reason. Yeah, there was a Vietnam War, there was stuff going on, like life as it's gone through the centuries, and here we are dealt with more stuff, and there's a lot that I don't need to talk about the things that are our challenges. What I want to talk about, my name's Peter Stone, and I've traveled to over 100 countries. I've met a lot of people face to face, firsthand. And I got to say, people at their core are very good. They want to help you. They want to give. They want to share. They want to be hospitable. All over the world, I've gone in people's houses, been invited places, and done a lot of things. And there are the few. And the only thing I know is got to pray for these people, and that weren't dealt the deck that maybe you and I were, that we weren't given the gift of a guidance or the support to grow in a positive way. It's the best way I can state it. So fortunately, that's a smaller portion of the world from what my experience is. And what's the solution? The solution is look for, listen for, be aware of, feel for. Like if you're, we feel vibes all the time, don't we? We do. We meet a person and you're immediately attracted to them, right? And they just you click, you connect. And it's like you've known each other, maybe, who knows, for all your life and other lives. I don't know. I don't know about any of that stuff. But it's just it's like magic. It's amazing. And I cherish those moments so much. And then there are people you just met them, and it's like, whoa, you're repelled. And it's so fascinating. And this is why we do stepping up, or one of the reasons why we do stepping up and stepping out, making your best life yet, your best year yet in 2022, because this is where we are today, right now. And the purpose of this is to review and stay on track with our goals from the new year. The new year, pretty much totally 3 months ago, January 1st, we're heading for April 1st tomorrow. And, or today rather. And it's the new moon. So I learned about the phases of the moon through the vibes of the moon, right? Here I am going through another year thinking, well, I didn't get the fitness that I wanted. I didn't get the finance exactly where I wanted it. And that's okay. Life is work in motion consistently, right? Because we're given new things, new situations, new challenges, new gifts, really. And this is where you turn it around and you stay positive by what you're given. And you do this one thing. If there's only one thing you take away from this short webinar today, this little training and teaching, is it's probably one of the most difficult things to do. I know it's one of the most difficult things I learned, but I read it, I listened to people say it, and I couldn't accomplish it for years. What do you mean there's a gift in that painful moment? What do you mean there's a gift in that thing that person said to me that wasn't very nice? What do you mean there's a gift in falling in the mud when you were trying to stay on the bicycle? What do you mean there's a gift in the uncomfortable moments we're given? We're gifted in our lives. So the one thing for a reminder on your original goals from the new year, that we're using the full moon as a bright light in the sky to remind us to go back to our goals, the ones we wrote in December or New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or whenever we wrote them, to stay on track. Because the record has it, most people they have great intentions. We all do, don't we? And 3 weeks go by, well, life got in the way. I forgot. I just got wrapped up. I didn't have a tool. I didn't have a system. And that's what stepping up and stepping out, making 2022 your best year yet is. It's an actual system. It couldn't be simpler. And it's a gift. It's a natural system, ignited by the brilliance of the moon, by the phases of the moon every 28 days, every 14 days. And I only recognized the full moon. I said, wow, there's 4 weeks in this moon lunar cycle. Not enough days, because 3 weeks is the magic point where we lose our focus. We forget, we get caught up. If we're not on our game, if we're not on our goals and we're not sticking to it. So habit comes in here. All right. So when you see the new moon, whether it's on social media, the full moon, the new moon, people don't post so much on the new moon, but that's your job to raise your awareness and know in the cycle that the energy is so much more useful on the new moon and on the full moon. Useful for you, useful for us to take those gifts, the challenges, the things we haven't been able to solve, called our goals, our New Year's resolutions, and find the solution. So, a simple question to ask when we're emotionally ripped and maybe devastated by something that's happened. I mean, there's a whole range of challenges and things we're given in a day. I mean, people lose family members, or I mean, just there's a whole list of things. People just get sick. People didn't accomplish the financial goal they wanted. They didn't lose the weight they wanted. There's a lot of things. So then the thought goes right down, like feeling bad, like that's awful. And then there is that person that comes to the water fountain that will feed that fuel. That's like fuel you want to walk away from. You don't have time. Do not listen to people that are not giving you a solution to lift you up. Just walk away. Let's say, I got to go. I got to do something. Find an excuse. Do anything that you must do, because this is a must if you want, only if you want to have more positivity in your life. You must surround yourself with positive people, positive energy. I went out for a ride on my bicycle, and I'm a bit of a loner. I don't go to crowds, but I enjoy meeting people, talking to people. I'm not super social. When my daughter came into the world, she's Miss Social. She's 8 years old. Dad, come on, you got to meet. We're at a trade show in Birmingham, England. Dad, you got to meet this lady. She's so interesting. My daughter, 8 years old, taking me over to this lady she was talking to for 2 hours. And so I learned so much from my daughter. What a gift, I'm telling you. And this is where, like, children are a challenge, children are a gift, right? We love them. And so recognize. I was having a conversation with someone in my company. My, children now in their early 20s or in their teens, right? They change, right? We know they change. And they weren't the young kids they were before. And they've got their gifts, their challenges, and we're the ones closest to them. And then they bring it to us, and they were like, well, what happened to the love? So I'm talking to this manager that she's been working with us for over 30 years. And what a great lady. I mean, she's done everything in our company, and we have a great relationship. And we talk about her daughter, just like a year or less, a year younger than my daughter, and her son. And she said, we're like, yeah, well, it's not always that positive moment that it used to be. And so therein lies a gift. Where's the beauty? And I mean, this is the yin and the yang of life, the upside, and then you could consider the downside. But in that downside lies the gift of the upside. Take a moment and take a breath, and you get emotionally ripped. Okay, let your emotions flow. Do not hide the emotion. Do not bury the emotion. Live the emotion, experience the emotion. But during that experience, continually ask the question. Just ask it. As it may not even connect, but you ask until it connects. You say, where's the gift? And when you keep asking a question, some people ask questions, well, why me? Why always me? Why does this always happen to me? Because you expect it to happen, because you're saying, why does this always happen to me? So you're setting the words up, your language, so that in your mind, you're saying, this is always going to happen, so I should expect more. No, no. No, no, no. What we want is, where is the gift in this? Where, in fact, is the gift? When we keep asking that, our brain and the universe and God and the higher power will give you an answer. And then something pops up and the whole thing changes. You go, wow, I can help people because of this. I can do this because of this. I can do that because of this. And I can avoid this, or I can change this, or now I have more meaning in my life because of this thing that I had to go through, that I had to live through. And every one of us, like, people will pull you aside and say, you just can't imagine what happened to me. Well, yes, I can, because it happened to her and him and you and me. Uh, we all are living life. We're not that much different. We're different for sure as individuals, but as how life is flows with us, we're in it together. And we need to act like it. And this is one of the challenges we have today, is that people say, they're separating it, and it's the less than useful element. And so we ask the question, what's the positive outcome that we need to be looking for in the situation, the upheaval, the turmoil, the awful things that are going on in life, that go on in the world today? I saw a video clip yesterday. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe people did that to people, but they do. And so, what we do have today is we have a lot better communication, and we're finding out things a lot faster. And we can, it's the upside. It's the upside. Nothing is all good. Nothing is all bad. So we find the upside in whatever it is that's going on, whatever our gift is. And we ask one thing: what can I learn from this? What is the upside? Where is the gift? And what positive thing, lesson, tool, book, whatever it is, whatever you get out of that moment or entire experience that could last a year or less, or whatever it is. I'm not going to label it, but you know what your challenges are. I know what mine are. But just tell you what, with this mindset, I will promise you one thing. I worked so hard. I mean, I got libraries and books, and I just wrote stacks of books, writing down this stuff. I write it. I go back. I was reading, I found some books from years ago, some diaries and stuff I wrote, and the things that I was struggling with and challenged with years ago. And I just I don't even sigh. I just go, wow, so glad that's done. So glad that's handled. And you can too. You can go where you want to go. You can be who you want to be. You can feel how you want to feel at a flip of a switch, a mental switch, the switch of centeredness. Like, I was doing this work with the son this morning. I'll share a little bit. So there was a restaurant called Cyclops in Seattle. And I'm like, well, what's Cyclops? Cyclops is a one-eyed monster, right? But why did they make him a monster? I don't know. I didn't look at the history. I didn't read any of that. Somebody probably knows all those things. I don't. I probably read a little bit about it one time. But animals, fish, dolphins, the third eye, right? Our pineal gland, right? That's our sensing and our intuition and our connection to our higher power, to God, to the universe. And I was learning from somebody else that in our pineal, you can suck in photons, positive photons from the sun, and get energy. Another thing is breathing. Like when you deep breathe and you breathe in through your nose, you visualize breathing positive ions, positive energy. Okay, positive. You see the pluses going into your nose, into your body, charging you. And when you blow out the negativity. Simple. It's a simple, just do it. You can go, yeah, well, that probably won't work, right? Some people are going to say that. I know they will. Well, it won't. But it will if you think it will. And it does. It does for me. It does for other people that have told me about it, that I have read. They've written books about this stuff. And I've read some of those books and I've tried some of these things, and I will tell you that it's an absolute solution. And so today, no matter what, I will tell you, no matter what I'm given, I am so grateful. You don't know, because there was time where I couldn't decide. My Fruit of the Loom pocketed t-shirt. I had a blue one, forest green, and an ocean deep sea blue. I spent 30 minutes sitting with anxiety trying to decide the blue one or the green one. And this was after I had stopped drinking for 12 years. and and coming out of that fog and that madness, I felt so bad. I felt so awful. I mean, really awful. And thinking I couldn't make a decision. This is getting a little long, but I know there's a lot of challenges out there. And if any one of these things, points in time, resonates, or you're feeling it, and you really need some help and you need to do something, these little things takes time. But time is the four-letter word. I used to say that all the time. It doesn't start with an F, it starts with a T. Time is painful because we have to go through time to get to the feel good side of things, the upside, the positive side of things. We have to experience those gifts, use those gifts. They make us stronger, they make us better, they give us resilience and strength as we grow. I will tell you, there are some gifts that I'm given just in the last year, 2 years, 3 years. I will tell you, just if they were given to me for 10 years ago, I wasn't ready for them. I wasn't ready. And life goes on. I'm thinking, when I was a kid, like adults, they're supposed to know everything, right? Yeah. But we are who we are. You know who you are at your own age, whatever you do. And I think life is so rich and so valuable, and don't miss it because you're totally engulfed and pulled down. Find one of these things, okay? Just keep asking, where's the upside? What's the positivity here? Where's the gift? What am I supposed to learn? When will it come? What can I do to solve this? What are some things I can do to feel better? Just look. It's there. It's always been there. It's always going to be there, no matter what goes on. And I would say in these challenging times, you need to raise your awareness and tune it up to maximum. And don't believe everything people are telling you, because it's pretty sad, and in some cases. So you heard me, right? So I'm relieving some of the weight that we all feel these days, but we don't have to carry it. We dump it, we unload it, and we remain positive. Did you hear me exhale? Yeah, the negativity. And I'll be just sitting and I'll start to deep breathe because of habit. I find myself, I'll just be in a quiet moment, just like this morning. And when I wake up and I'm just like, oh, let me just take a deep breath. And then I'll do a series of deep breathing and I get charged. Your brain gets, you get uplifted with that oxygen. Such simple things. And if you want to know more, click here and subscribe and there's links to follow us. And I will be, but I'm talking to my team, and we're doing. I mean, I'm a wild, crazy entrepreneur, and it's taken me this much time to decide. Oh, Peter, well, maybe you should only work on one, not even two projects. And I have this mind management monthly project that it sits in the background, but I can't do it because I have this freedom project I'm working on that is probably a priority, but inside that freedom project will be bits and pieces of the mind management, the words you choose when you speak, the words you choose when you think, and the words, the visions you choose to experience when you see something, and or choose to change. So do the one thing. Ask the question, where's the gift? And between now, the new moon, and the full moon are times of planning and problem solving and challenging and defining and putting in order so that when the full moon comes you can actually manifest and make a new step. Do one thing, do two things, do five things, five changes. You write it down. What are you gonna change to have more positivity in your life? What is at least one thing, or what are three things? Whether it's adding breathing to that, adding getting in the sun, adding a little exercise or a walk. Movement is magical. Like no matter what, I don't care how I feel. I mean, once in a while I won't. I'll skip it. But I will make and just do it. Nike, thank you. Do I support Nike? I don't know. I don't know enough about them, but I do know what I love. Just do it. Just do it. Do it for you, do it for your friends, do it for your family, do it for life, do it for the world. Because when enough people find positivity, it spreads out. It spreads out like laughter, okay? It spreads out and it spreads. And how come that person feels so good in these bad times? Oh, well, there's an option. Find the option. I'll see you later. This is Peter Stone, stepping up and stepping out and making 2022 your best year yet. Find the gift. I'll see you on the full moon.